Discover the heartwarming journey of a single dad CEO who unexpectedly found life-changing love. In the heart of a bustling suburban town, where life raced forward like a speeding train, Alex faced a whirlwind of responsibilities. A 35-year-old single father and the proud CEO of a burgeoning tech startup, he juggled morning school drop-offs and late nights in the office. Each day began with the sound of Mia's laughter, a melodic reminder of joy, paving the way for reality's chaos. Yet beneath his confident exterior lay a deep, aching fear of failure. Memories of a humble upbringing haunted him. He desperately clung to the hope of providing a better life for his 6-year-old daughter. They had lost her mother too soon, and as his bright-eyed Mia sang along to her favorite songs, Alex felt the heavy weight of her absence. But one fateful evening, everything changed. Just as the sun dipped below the horizon and darkness fell over his dreams, his phone buzzed with a dreaded notification: a major investor had pulled out. Panic surged through him, tightening his chest. All his late-night sacrifices, sleepless nights, and relentless efforts felt like they were crumbling under pressure. What will I do? The thought echoed in his mind as he fought back tears. Just when the burden felt unbearable, Mia's rebellious streak at school spiraled, sending their already delicate bond spiraling toward collapse. "Where's Mommy?" she would whisper, her blue eyes brimming with tears. In those moments, it felt like a dagger to Alex's heart, the relentless longing for a mother they both missed in different ways. This cycle of distress reached a crescendo when a school incident prompted an emotional breakdown for Mia, leaving Alex feeling both inadequate and crushed. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Just when it seemed Alex was at his breaking point, Ella stumbled into their lives like a beam of light. A dedicated community volunteer, she had spent years uplifting struggling families. When she arrived at the school and comforted Mia, her gentle spirit connected with both father and daughter. Suddenly, laughter echoed in their home where silence used to linger. Ella introduced them to community activities, friendship blossomed, and healing began to replace heartache. But as they shared laughs like forgotten treasures, society's judgment loomed large, threatening the sanctuary they built. Alex felt the weight of expectations, questioning if love could truly flourish against the tide of class divides. During a community gathering that underscored socioeconomic disparities, a shocking revelation about Ella's past intertwined their narratives, forcing Alex to confront his own biases. As he poured his heart into the startup he had built, Alex stood resilient, but insecurity gnawed at him relentlessly. As the community began to rally behind them, the whispers of acceptance blended uneasily with doubt. Would true love and family withstand the trials yet to come? With shadows lurking and hope igniting a spark, the heart-pounding journey of Alex and Mia was only beginning. What awaited them next felt like a thrilling roller coaster ride, one that left their future hanging delicately in the balance, poised for love amid adversity. The sun peeked through the curtains the next morning, painting the room with a golden hue. Alex woke to the sound of Mia's excited voice drifting up from the kitchen. "Daddy, Daddy. You have to come see." The urgency in her tone stirred him from sleep. Still half asleep, he padded downstairs, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. In the kitchen, he found Mia perched on a stool, a hand-drawn card clutched proudly in her tiny fingers. "Look!" she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. The card had a rainbow drawn across the front, with the words, "World's Best Daddy," scrawled in her earnest handwriting. Alex's heart swelled, and he crouched down to her level, wrapping his arms around her. "Oh, Mia, this is beautiful. You're the best daughter ever." They shared a warm embrace that chased away the shadows of last night. For a moment, it felt as if everything might just work out, but as he sipped his coffee, thoughts of work crept back in. The investor's decision echoed in his mind like a persistent drumbeat. Alex needed to act fast. With his startup on the line, every moment was crucial. He glanced at Mia, her innocent joy a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing within him. "Let us go for a walk today, okay? Just you and me," he said, hoping to weave a bit of happiness into the whirlwind ahead. They spent the morning wandering through the town, stopping at the park where the swings squeaked with every push. Mia squealed with delight, her laughter cutting through Alex's worry. But even as he pushed her higher, a small pit of anxiety twisted in his stomach. He was grateful for moments like these, yet the weight of financial uncertainty loomed over him like dark clouds. Later that afternoon, as they shared ice cream, Alex's phone buzzed. He hesitated, the screen lighting up with a message from an old friend, Mark, who had left town years ago. "Hey man. Heard about your company. Need to talk." Instantly, Alex's heart raced. Mark had always been straight with him. Were they in trouble, or was this an opportunity? "Mia, can you finish this?" he asked, pointing to the ice cream that was now melting down the sides of the cone. "I need to answer this." He stepped aside and typed back quickly. As he sent the message, he felt a mixture of hope and apprehension. Moments later, he received a reply suggesting they meet for drinks at a local pub. This could be my break, he thought, but guilt knotted in his chest. Would he be abandoning Mia for business again? He returned to her, the weight of his decisions pressing down. How could he take care of both his daughter and his dreams? "Daddy, can we go to the fair this weekend?" Mia asked, her face lighting up with excitement, completely unaware of the internal conflict swirling inside him. "That sounds fun, Mia. Let's definitely plan that." But even as he smiled, his mind was racing in a different direction entirely. Should he go to the pub with Mark, risking time away from her for what might not even help? As they made their way home, the sun setting behind them, an uneasy knot settled in Alex's stomach. His decisions felt like choices between two loves, his daughter and the future he was building. Could he balance it all? Just as he began to feel a bit of clarity, a new thought pierced through. What if Mark had created a solution that could turn everything around? His fate and that of Mia's hinged on decisions yet to unfold, and he knew the road ahead was far from clear. Would he step boldly into the unknown? The pub was bustling with voices and laughter when Alex walked in, Mia's card still tucked away safely in his pocket. He spotted Mark in a booth at the back, a familiar face that brought a rush of nostalgia mixed with worry. Would this meeting be the lifeline he desperately needed, or simply another reminder of what he stood to lose? "Hey, man!" Mark called, waving him over. His smile was infectious, but Alex felt a weight on his shoulders. "You look like you've been under a lot of pressure." "Yeah, you could say that," Alex replied, sliding into the seat opposite him. "Thanks for coming. What did you want to talk about?" Mark leaned in, lowering his voice. "I heard about your startup's struggles. I think I might have an idea that could help." Hope flickered in Alex's chest. "Really? What is it?" Mark began to explain, but Alex couldn't fully focus. Images of Mia flooded his mind, her laughter at the park, her eyes lighting up at the thought of going to the fair. How could he balance this conversation with the time he owed her? "Let's brainstorm a bit," Mark was saying, bringing Alex back to the moment. "If we can tweak your business model." "I'm sorry," Alex interrupted, guilt gnawing at him. "I have to ask. Would this mean more investment or potential buy-in? Because I have to make sure I'm doing the right thing for my daughter too." Mark stopped and looked at him, serious now. "I get it. Family's everything. But if this goes well, it could really secure that future for her." Alex heard admiration in Mark's voice but felt despair at his own hesitation. "Will she understand me being gone more? I want to give her the world," but his voice trailed off. "Being there matters, Alex. But so does providing for her," Mark said, his gaze steady. "You don't have to choose one or the other." That thought hung in the air, heavy yet liberating. Could he find a way to do both? Could he change the narrative, they continued discussing strategies, ideas bouncing back and forth until Mark's enthusiasm was contagious. But every time he saw the clink of a glass or heard a child giggle from outside, Alex felt the tug of guilt. Finally, after hours of strategizing, Alex's phone vibrated again, a picture of Mia beaming, holding up her ice cream cone. Just that sight reminded him of the world he so wanted to protect. "I can't wait to show this to you when you get back," she had written. The warmth spread through his chest, but the conflict was still there. Could he possibly seize this opportunity while also being there for her? Feeling a rush of urgency, he looked at Mark, determination igniting in his eyes. "I need to be more strategic. But I also need to set things right at home. Then let us find a solution that works for both." Mark nodded, the confidence in his voice echoing Alex's newfound resolve. As the conversation drew to a close, Alex left feeling buoyant yet anxious. He knew the stakes were high, and the pressure would only increase from here. Mia would be thrilled about the fair, but could he keep his promise to be fully present? The road ahead was complicated, but he was ready to try. On the drive home, Alex pondered what balance really looked like. Was it possible to chase his dreams without losing his grip on the most important part of his life? The moment he walked through the door and saw Mia carefully arranging her toys, a thought echoed back in his mind. What if this journey could lead to an unexpected twist that would change everything? As she looked up and rushed to him, a question danced on the tip of his tongue. Would making these hard choices bring them closer or pull them apart? Mia's excited squeals filled the room as she ran towards Alex, a whirlwind of energy wrapped in a colorful dress that seemed to twirl with her. In that moment, all of his worries about the future shifted to the background. She leaped into his arms, her warmth pressing against him, and he chuckled, suddenly feeling lighter. "Daddy, look what I made!" she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling brighter than ever. She held up a hand-drawn picture, an explosion of colors with stick figures that vaguely resembled them. "This is us at the fair. We're going to have so much fun." Alex's heart ached with tenderness. "This is amazing, sweetheart. I love how you drew the Ferris wheel," he said, carefully studying her masterpiece. "And look, you even made the ice cream stand. Can we go now? Please?" Mia's enthusiasm was contagious, but Alex's mind started to drift again, caught between the happiness on her face and the heavy weight of impending decisions. "Soon, baby, soon. But first, let's get dinner ready, okay?" After a quick meal filled with her chatter about cotton candy and games, Alex sat across from her at the kitchen table, his mind racing. She deserved a dad who could give her all his attention, but what about his dreams? "Can I tell you something?" Mia asked, her expression serious. "Of course. You can tell me anything," he encouraged, leaning forward. "I saw you talking with Uncle Mark. You were really focused." Her small fingers twirled her hair. "Are you going to be gone a lot more?" The question hit Alex like ice water. He didn't want her to feel abandoned. "No, I'll make sure I'm here for you," he promised, though uncertainty laced his voice. "But sometimes work needs to be done to make sure we have a good life." Mia nodded slowly, contemplating his words. "Like how you work hard for ice cream?" A smile crept onto his face. "Exactly. I want you to enjoy nice things, but that means putting in the hours now. Can't you just take a break?" she asked. "Or maybe we could work together. We could have fun and make ice cream for everyone." The child logic struck a chord in him. "You're right, a break could help us both. But I want to figure out how to help the business grow while still being a good daddy." Mia leaned closer, her eyes serious. "I just want you here, Daddy. The fair will be so much more fun with you." Her innocent words sent a wave of guilt rushing over him. What if he missed her big moments because he was chasing a dream? "I promise I'll find a way, Mia. You're my #1 priority." Suddenly, the doorbell rang, breaking the heavy moment. Mia hopped off her chair excitedly. "I'll get it." Alex, still deep in thought, followed her to the door. As she flung it open, Alex felt a spark of anticipation. But when he saw who stood there, a woman, vibrant and smiling, holding a basket of cookies and the warmest welcome in her eyes, he froze. "Hi there. I'm Lila. I live next door," she said, her voice bright and inviting, making him feel something he hadn't in a while. Mia immediately stepped back and grabbed Alex's hand. "Daddy, she's here with cookies." As Lila knelt down, engaging Mia with a smile, Alex felt an unexpected flutter in his chest. What was this feeling? Maybe this is the twist that changes everything, he thought, but could opening his heart to new possibilities mean disrupting the carefully built world he'd created for himself and Mia? And just like that, the night opened up with potential, leaving Alex with more questions than before. Lila's smile lit up the dimly lit hallway like the dawn breaking, and Alex could hardly peel his eyes away from her. The way she interacted with Mia, bending to her level and chatting animatedly about the cookies, tugged at something deep inside him. He felt a strange mix of admiration and fear washing over him. "Mia, do you like chocolate chip?" Lila asked, her voice playful as she offered a cookie to the little girl. Mia nodded vigorously, her delight palpable. "Yes. They're my favorite." She reached out eagerly, and Lila placed the cookie carefully in her small hand. "Here, take a big bite." Lila encouraged, laughing as Mia took an enormous chomp. Watching Mia savor the cookie, Alex felt a surge of warmth. This was the kind of connection he longed for, both for himself and his daughter, someone who would brighten their lives. Was it too soon to feel this way about someone he just met? "Thank you for coming over," he finally spoke, trying to muster a calm demeanor while all sorts of emotions swirled through him. "I'm Alex, by the way." "Hi, Alex." Lila replied with a dazzling smile that could melt any worries away. "I thought I'd introduce myself and share some of my grandmother's cookie recipe. It's good for neighborhood bonding, right?" "Absolutely, especially when chocolate is involved," he replied, managing a chuckle. Yet, the thought of bonding stirred a bit of anxiety in him. Mia, her mouth still full of cookie, shot him a mischievous look. "Daddy, do you think we can have a cookie party with Lila?" Alex's heart raced. A cookie party? He hoped he was overthinking this, but the idea of adding someone new to their little family felt daunting. "We should, maybe think about it." Lila, sensing the slight hesitation, softened her approach. "Of course. No pressure. But I'm here often, so we can have fun baking together anytime. Kids love that, don't they?" Her easygoing nature was refreshing, and Alex found himself smiling back, relaxing just a bit. "Yeah, she loves it when we make things together." The three of them moved to the living room, and Lila took a seat across from them. As they chatted, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that he was temporarily stepping out of his guarded life. Lila's laughter was infectious, filling the space with warmth, and her sincerity drew him in further. "And you work from home?" Lila asked, genuinely curious. "Yes, I run a small ice cream business," Alex explained, his voice tinged with pride. Mia jumped in. "And he works really hard. But I want him to play more." "Oh, the balancing act of life and work." Lila laughed lightly, her eyes sparkling. "It's tough. My sister has a toddler, and she's always juggling her time. But those little moments together, they're the best part." A wave of realization washed over Alex. Suddenly, he could see the potential of blending laughter and warmth into their lives, a way to share parenting, the casual kind of friendship that could blossom into something deeper. As he caught Lila's gaze across the room, he felt something shift. A sense of possibility stretched before him, but he also wondered, could he be ready for all this? With Mia watching them both so intently, he knew he had to tread carefully. "Hey, Lila, would you like to join us at the fair this weekend?" He blurted out, surprising even himself. Mia's eyes lit up. "Yes, please. We could ride the Ferris wheel together." Lila smiled brightly. "I'd love that. The fair sounds like a fantastic adventure." But as they arranged their plans, Alex felt a knot in his stomach. Was he making the right choice by letting someone new into their world? That night, as he tucked Mia into bed, her little hand clasped around his finger, he could hardly sleep. The weight of the future loomed over him, but he also felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps a night at the fair was just what they needed, but what would happen if Lila became more than just a neighbor? Would he be ready to let someone into their lives completely? The day of the fair arrived, bursting with energy and vibrant colors. Alex could feel the anticipation crackling in the air like static before a storm. He stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his shirt for the 5th time. It was just the fair, he thought. Just a fun day with Lila and Mia. Mia hopped around the living room, barely able to contain her excitement. Her pigtails danced as she spun in circles. "Daddy, hurry. I want to go on the Ferris wheel. Can we see Lila soon?" Her joy was contagious, and Alex couldn't help but smile, even as nerves twisted in his stomach. Okay. Let us go," he finally said, grabbing their things and ushering Mia out the door. When they reached the fairgrounds, the sounds enveloped them: the joyful screams of kids on rides, the distant thump of music, and the enticing smell of popcorn and cotton candy wafting through the air. Alex spotted Lila near the entrance, waving enthusiastically, a beam of sunshine cutting through the fair's chaos. "Hey there!" Lila called, her eyes sparkling with excitement. She wore a light sundress that danced with the breeze and matched the energy of the day. "Lila. This is Mia." "Mia, this is Lila," Alex introduced, his heart pounding. "Hi, Mia." Lila crouched down to meet Mia's eager gaze. "Are you ready for a day full of fun?" "Yes," Mia shouted, unable to contain her excitement. They made their way deeper into the fair, the laughter and thrills amplifying with every step. Alex couldn't help but admire how Lila easily interacted with Mia, her infectious laughter wrapping around them like a warm blanket. "Look, Daddy. The carousel." Mia pointed, and without waiting for a response, she zoomed off toward the colorful horses. Lila giggled, and Alex felt his chest tighten at how naturally everything flowed. "She's got a lot of energy," Lila called out as they ran after Mia. They hopped on the carousel. Mia's joy was palpable, her face glowing as she rode a pink horse. Alex stood beside Lila, his heart racing not just from the thrill of the ride but from the closeness he felt standing next to her. The world around them blurred as they exchanged glances, a moment stretched in time. "Let's take a selfie," Lila suggested, pulling out her phone. Mia clung to the horse, grinning widely. "Say cookie party," Lila cheered, and as they snapped the picture, Alex felt the warmth of connection expanding between them. After the carousel, they wandered through booths filled with games and snacks. Lila was competitive, trying to win a stuffed animal for Mia at a ring toss game. Every time she failed, she burst into laughter, and Alex couldn't help but smile at how light-hearted she was. "Let me try," he offered, stepping up to the game. He took a deep breath, focusing on the rings, and with a flick of his wrist, one landed perfectly. "Woo-hoo!" Lila cheered, her excitement infectious, and before he knew it, there was a little bear in his hand that Mia immediately claimed. "Thank you, Daddy. It's so cute," Mia exclaimed, holding it close, her joy sending a jolt of warmth through him. As they wandered hand in hand, Alex felt an unfamiliar feeling growing inside him. Could this be more than just a day at the fair? His heart raced at the thought of Lila. She was easy to talk to, fun to be around, and so good with Mia. But just then, a fleeting thought took root. What if this was all a dream? He had built walls to protect himself and Mia, but with each laugh and glance shared with Lila, those walls felt a little less sturdy and a lot more inviting. As they approached the Ferris wheel, Lila turned to him, her eyes reflecting the twinkling lights. "Ready for another adventure?" Alex's heart raced, but just like the rides ahead, he knew he was teetering at the edge of something significant. Was he ready to let go of his fear and embrace whatever this was? But just as he formed the thought, Mia tugged at his arm. "Daddy!" Can we sit with Lila? Of course, Alex replied, glancing at Lila, whose soft smile stirred something deep inside him. In that moment, standing before the looming Ferris wheel, Alex knew they were about to embark on more than just a ride. They were heading into uncharted territory. What would it mean for their future if he let Lila into their lives completely? One ride at a time, he realized, they were crossing into something that could change everything. As they climbed into the gondola of the Ferris wheel, Alex's pulse quickened. He squeezed in beside Mia, who was practically bouncing in her seat with anticipation. Lila settled in across from them, her smile radiant, a perfect match for the cotton candy clouds floating above. "Here we go!" Lila exclaimed as the ride started moving. The gondola swayed gently, and with each ascent, Mia squealed in delight. Alex wanted to feel that same exhilaration, but another part of him felt a stirring anxiety. What was this really about? Up they went, the fairground sprawling out below them like a magical tapestry, all lights and laughter. Each view got more breathtaking, but Alex's thoughts kept spiraling. He stole a glance at Lila. Was this just a fleeting moment of happiness, or something deeper? "Look at all the lights." Mia pointed, her voice bursting with excitement. "Can you see where the games are?" "Yeah, it looks amazing from up here." Lila agreed, her eyes sparkling. As Alex watched their interaction, something profound settled in his heart. Lila had a way of making everything feel brighter. As the gondola reached its peak, they hung suspended in the air for a blissful moment. Alex felt the weight of the world lift, replaced by the thrill of being with them. It was just the three of them, wrapped in the ride's magic. "Daddy, I'm flying!" Mia exclaimed, her arms stretched wide as if she could reach the sky. Alex chuckled, the tension easing. "You really are. Like a little bird." Lila laughed, and Alex couldn't help but join her. It wasn't just about Mia, there was something enchanting happening between them, too. Just as quickly, doubt crept back in. Could he actually allow himself to feel this way? When the ride came to an end, Mia hopped out, her energy seemingly limitless. Lila followed, and Alex lingered for just a moment, watching them. Maybe this was more than just a day at the fair. A sliver of hope began to push through some of the walls he had built. "Let's find that giant slide next," Lila suggested, her enthusiasm infectious as Mia nodded fervently. They wound their way through the crowd, laughter echoing all around them. As they approached the slide, another idea sparked in Alex's mind. Lila was already holding Mia's hand, guiding her toward the towering structure. The way they connected was effortless, a bond that sparked something powerful inside him. "Do you want to go first?" Lila asked Mia, her eyes crinkling with warmth. "Yes, yes." Mia beamed. Without hesitation, she raced to the climb, and Lila followed closely. As photos of past rides flashed in his mind, a realization struck Alex. Mia was happier than he had seen her in a long time, and for once, he felt free. Perhaps it was time to let go of the fear gripping him. Lila had stepped into their lives and into his heart without him even noticing. Before he could overthink, he joined them at the top of the slide. Standing there, watching Mia's joyful face filled with pure excitement, Alex took a deep breath. "Okay. Ready, set, go." He cheered, and they all launched down together, laughter erupting as wind whipped past them. In that moment, it didn't matter what tomorrow held. For now, they were together, full of joy, sweeping away any doubt. As they reached the bottom, grounded in reality but soaring from the thrill, Alex felt a wave of possibility wash over him, but just as they caught their breath, a sudden thought struck him. What if Lila was feeling something significant too? He turned to find her gaze already on him, a question lingering in her eyes. "Alex," she started, her voice hesitant yet filled with hope. With the sun setting behind them, casting a beautiful glow across the fair, he knew the next words could shift everything. What would she say? What would he say? And as he held her steady gaze, all the colors of the fair spun around them, leaving him at a crossroads. Should he take the leap, or hold back? The moment hung in the air, heavy with anticipation. Mia's hand slipped from Lila's, and she spun around, her joyful laughter breaking the tension. Can we go on the carousel next? Please, Daddy. The moment was lifted, but Alex felt the weight of it linger like a shadow. He tore his eyes from Lila's, breaking the captivating spell. Sure, let us do that. It's your day, Mia. As they strolled toward the carousel, Alex kept glancing back at Lila, who was looking at him with such warmth it was almost disarming. She was beautiful in the sunset light, her hair glinting like gold. He felt a tightening in his chest, wishing he could tell her how he felt, but the fear gripped him tighter. What if she didn't feel the same way? Minutes later, they settled onto the brightly painted horses. Mia was on her favorite, a spotted mare, while Lila took the horse next to hers. Alex climbed onto a dappled gray, and as the ride began to spin, a familiar music floated through the air. It was lively and whimsical, blending perfectly with the laughter of the children around. Yet, for Alex it was bittersweet. As the carousel turned, he saw the sunlight dance in Lila's eyes. It struck him how natural it felt to be there with them. Laughter from Mia echoed, binding them together in this moment. You're so good with her, Lila said, her voice barely rising above the melodies of the carousel. Thanks, Alex replied, feeling a smile grow on his face. She's a special kid. Yeah, she really is, Lila agreed, certain warmth radiating from her smile. You're doing an amazing job, you know. I admire that about you. Her words wrapped around him. He wanted to seek more of that connection, but doubt pulled him back, biting at his hope like brambles on a path. Did she really see him? Did she want that closeness? As the ride slowed to a stop, Mia was full of energy, hopping off her horse with glee. Did you see me? I was galloping super fast. Of course. You were the fastest. Lila encouraged, her eyes sparkling with delight as she swiftly dismounted. Alex hesitated, his heart still pounding. Should we check out the snacks? I heard they have the best corn dogs. Definitely. Mia exclaimed, grabbing both of their hands. They wove through the crowd, laughter bursting from them like confetti. But as they stood in line waiting for their food, Alex felt the rush of excitement fade into something heavier. He glanced at Lila, who was animatedly chatting with Mia about toppings, and his heart sank. Was he brave enough to break the silence? Just then, a commotion came from a nearby game booth. Someone shouted, laughter erupted, and Alex instinctively turned to look. In that distraction, he felt a tap on his shoulder. Lila was there, her expression serious, yet full of compassion. Can I talk to you for a second? She asked, her voice low enough only for him to hear. The world around him blurred out the noise of the fair, the smell of fried food, the bright lights, all faded away as he nodded. They stepped aside, creating a small bubble of space away from the crowd. Alex, she said softly, I know you're worried. About us. About Mia. But I just want you to know. His heart raced, anticipation flooding his veins. This was it. Would she finally tell him what he desperately wanted to hear? As she hesitated, the words hanging between them like the soft glow of fairy lights, he felt every heartbeat speed up. I think there is something real here, she finally breathed, her eyes searching his. And just like that, the air filled with possibility. But before he could respond, a loud crash echoed from behind them. They turned, shocked, to see a carousel horse had toppled over, startling everyone nearby. Mia gasped, pulling both of their hands tighter. Daddy! What happened? The moment was shattered. Alex looked to Lila, her expression caught between concern and the unspoken words they had almost shared. Let us go check it out, he suggested, forcing a smile. But as they made their way back, he wondered if they would ever return to that moment. What would happen now? Would the opportunity slip away, lost in the laughter and chaos of the fair? Everything. felt fragile, teetering on the edge, just like the horse that had fallen. And with that thought, a wave of uncertainty washed over him. Would they find their way back to that connection, or was this just another fleeting moment in a fun-filled day? Mia's wide eyes darted toward the fallen carousel horse, her small frame shaking with excitement and concern. "What happened, Daddy?" she repeated, her voice a mix of curiosity and worry. Alex squeezed her hand gently, trying to reassure her even as his heart raced. He was torn between wanting to comfort Mia and feeling the weight of Lila's unspoken words still hovering in the air. They hurried toward the source of the commotion, where a few employees had rushed to right the toppled horse. "It's okay, sweetheart," Alex said softly, kneeling down to her level. "Sometimes things happen, but the workers will fix it quickly." He tried to sound confident, though his chest felt heavy. Lila was right there, just behind him, and he could sense that her focus was split between Mia's innocence and their interrupted moment that as the horse was being lifted back into place. Alex caught Lila's gaze. It was an anchor in the turbulent sea of his emotions. He wanted to shout the thoughts in his mind, everything he felt when he was with her, how her laughter felt like home. Instead, he swallowed hard, the urge caught in his throat. "Look at those colors!" Mia exclaimed, pointing at the carousel's vibrant decorations, brightening the mood as shadows of worried faces surrounded them. "I like the pink one." Lila knelt next to Mia, her enthusiasm bubbling forth. "I like that one too. It's so beautiful, isn't it?" Alex watched as the two of them engaged, Lila's tenderness flowing effortlessly to Mia. He felt a flicker of jealousy mixed with admiration. Suddenly, the crowd shushed as the carousel began to spin again, now steady and safe. The dulcet ring of its music washed over them, pulling Alex from his swirling thoughts. He glanced at Lila, who was smiling widely as Mia clapped her hands in glee. "See? All fixed." Lila grinned at Mia, her expression brightening the night. The joy of the fair surged around them again as laughter filled the air. "Let us ride again," Mia yelled, tugging on Lila's sleeve. "Can we, please?" Without waiting for an answer, Mia darted toward the carousel, leaving Alex and Lila standing together, a thin veil of tension stretching between them. "You know," Lila started, her playful tone fading as her eyes grew serious, "about earlier what I said." Alex nodded, feeling his heart pound louder. Would this be the moment he was anticipating, or yet another thread in the tapestry of hesitation they shared? "Maybe we should talk more," she hesitated, biting her lip, glancing back toward Mia. "But maybe not now. This is Mia's day." And just like that, confusion layered itself over Alex's heart again. He opened his mouth to speak, to urge her to say what was in her heart, but all that came out was a breathless whisper, "Okay." They joined Mia at the carousel, laughter bubbling as they settled on the horses once more. But as the ride began, Alex felt an unsettling mix of joy and frustration. He saw the magic in Lila's smile but couldn't shake the feeling that there was so much left unspoken. Should he risk it all to voice his feelings, or simply bask in the connection they had? The music carried them along, each turn another fleeting second lost. Alex tried to push away the uncertainty, wanting to relish the joy of this moment with Mia by their side. But he couldn't escape the nagging thought, when would they embrace the truth that lingered in the air like a sweet melody waiting to be heard? As they stepped off, the sun started to dip below the horizon, painting the sky with deep oranges and purples. It felt like a moment of change, both beautiful and foreboding. Then came a call for the fair's grand fireworks display to begin, drawing the crowd's attention. "Let us find a good spot," Lila exclaimed, her eyes sparkling again with the thrill of the fair. And as they made their way through the bustling crowd, Alex's heart raced anew. Was this the night where they would finally confront their tangled emotions? And what would that confrontation mean for their little trio? Behind them, laughter rang out as the first firework burst into the night sky, illuminating everything, yet leaving shadows to navigate in the afterglow. As the grand fireworks display exploded overhead, the night became a canvas of vibrant colors, bursts of light illuminating the faces around them. Alex stood close to Mia and Lila, feeling the warmth of their connection deepening with each crackle and boom in the sky. Mia's eyes were wide, reflecting the dazzling lights, her delight ringing as she squealed, "Look, Daddy. Look at that red one." In moments like these, Alex's heart swelled with a profound sense of belonging. Here was the family he always dreamed of, in a way he never anticipated. Lila's presence felt like a gentle force intertwined with their lives, a sweet balm for the wounds of their past. Yet, the weight of unspoken words lingered around them, heavy with hope and uncertainty. As the explosions of firework after firework lit up the night, Alex found himself drawn to Lila's radiant smile. "What you said earlier. I think we should talk," he finally said, his voice steady yet soft, edging out his fear. He needed to reach through that thin veil, to connect in a deeper way, to embrace this beautiful woman who seamlessly spun around their lives. Her eyes widened slightly, gleaming in the twilight, but then softened. "Let us find a quieter place," she murmured, her tone careful yet kind. They wandered away from the crowd, where the fireworks felt like thrilling whispers in the background. Once they settled on a grassy knoll, the distant sounds of the fair pulsed gently behind them. The shimmering remnants of fireworks painted their surroundings with vibrancy, reflecting in the intent gaze Lila held on him. "Alex," she started, but her voice caught, and she looked down as if collecting her thoughts. "Lila," he breathed, reaching for her hand, merging their fingers together in a tentative grip. "I'm glad you're here with us. You've brightened our lives in ways I never expected. I need you to know that." She blinked slowly, absorbing his words, and smiled softly. "You've done the same for me. It's been so refreshing to be around you and Mia. You make life enjoyable, even amidst the chaos." Alex's heart raced. "I want to keep building this. With you. I want you to be part of our world, if you want to." Her gaze flared with warmth as she replied, "I do want that. I've been hoping you'd feel the same." The tension that had coiled in his chest began to unravel. "But it's scary, Alex. We both have a lot to lose." He nodded, fear and excitement connecting them. "I know. It's okay to be scared, but we can take it one day at a time. Together." They shared a moment of silence, eyes locked, the simplicity of their connection resonating like the last fireworks that faded into stardust. Finally, Lila brought her hand to cradle his cheek, and he leaned into her touch. "Let us make it count," she whispered. As a final firework burst overhead, Alex felt a rush of certainty make its home in his heart. This was their beginning, a blossoming trust that intertwined their hopes and dreams. With the cool night air swirling around them, Alex turned back to where Mia was running beneath the sparkling lights, chasing bits of starlight, laughter bubbling freely. Lila joined him, her heart open and eager. "She's incredible," Lila observed, admiration dancing in her voice, "and so are you as her dad." Alex's heart swelled with pride. "Thanks to you, we've got a vibrant future. Let us keep sharing these moments." And so they did. Under the canopy of stars and fading lights of the fair, they stepped into the next chapter, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, a little family crafted through love, laughter, and new connections. Together, Alex and Lila were no longer mere companions in the tumultuous dance of life. They were a team, ready to face anything. In that perfect moment, the future felt bright. The swirl of emotions and experiences began to paint a landscape of hope. Alex knew that they could create a beautiful life together. They turned their eyes to the skies as the final sparkles of fireworks faded, hearts full, and laughter ringing true. This was just the beginning. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, comment your reactions and feelings about the ending, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. You need to subscribe now. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.